Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. And on today's show, we're going to be breaking down the action so far that we saw in week number 5. And then we're going to talk about week number 5. This has been Prime Sports World. I'm David Hopkins. Right there is from dailyblitz.blog, Mr. Christian Simpson. Welcome to the show. And if you're looking for consistent content on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Prime Sports World is a pretty good place to hang out. We go live every day, bringing the most up-to-date content. So please like, share, subscribe, and continue to check us out. I've also shared the StreamYard link into all of the places. So if you want to join us, talk a little NFL action, more than welcome to do so. So before we get into each individual game, Christian, what's your overall analysis, reaction to what we've seen on the football field so far this week?
Wow, that's a good question. Teams just finding different ways to win football games. Really not all depending on offense. Some teams did it with defense. Some teams did it with special teams. And, that's what I would say has been my biggest takeaway from week 5. I mean, are you asking, like, what else caught my eye? Are we going to get to that?
What else caught your eye real quick before we move into the actual each game?
To be honest with you, the Baltimore Ravens, because they simplified things on the defensive side, playing a lot of man coverage and not being able to cover everybody. So now they're playing man on one side, and everybody else is playing zone so they can cover the ground because the secondary is not built to play man coverage. That's just what it is, and they did such a great job of limiting Jamar Chase. And they said, look, if you're going to beat us, like TJ always says, if you're going to beat us, anybody but him, meaning Jamar Chase. And yeah, I thought that was a pretty good game. It was a grinded out game, and it came down to the kickers.
Yeah, I think one of my takeaways is the Ravens might be in a little bit of trouble here.
I think so. I think so too, because
that's my number one takeaway. The Ravens might be in some trouble. Like they're not getting it going the way you would expect.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, they have problems on top of problems. Offensively, Allen Robinson's not a fit for the Rams. Let's just call it what it is. They're not because they're not getting him involved. So let's look at it like that. Number one. Number two, it's too much pressure on Cooper Kupp. Like, he's getting the ball, but who's going to step up after him? Where's Tyler Higbee? Where's Darrell Henderson? Where's
Cam Akers?
Right. Two, then, I look at the offensive line. The offensive line is really struggling right now to protect.
Matthew Stafford's going back to kind of Detroit. Matthew Stafford with all the
I won't even say that, but look.
Yeah, he hasn't been all that good.
No, he hasn't, and he steps back in that pocket and he's hit. I just knew that was going to be a challenging matchup for the Rams because Dallas can beat you in so many ways defensively. And I have something interesting to say about the Cowboys when we talk about that game. And with the Rams defense, they still have no pass rush. They made Cooper Kupp look like Joe Montana.
100%. Let's get into the first game of the weekend. We got the Colts going into Mile High and squeaking out the 12-9 victory, and which was probably the most unentertaining football game of the entire weekend. I'll probably set offensive football back decades, if not longer. 12-9 out of Indianapolis Colts. No touchdowns scored in the entire game. Matt Ryan, 26 of 41, 251, and 2 picks. Deion Jackson, 13 carries for 62 yards. Alec Pierce actually led the Indianapolis Colts in receiving yards. It's nice to see him kind of step up a little bit. 8 catches for 81. And on the Denver side of this, man, 21 of 39, 274, and 2 picks for Russell Wilson. Melvin Gordon, the third, 15 carries, 54 yards. And Cortland Sutton, leading receiver for the Denver Broncos, 5 for 74. This game was just a myriad of turnovers. What is this turnovers for each side? I think 3 for each side, at least. Yeah, 2 turnovers for each team. They only 300 yards offense for both teams. This was just not pretty football to watch or enjoy. I'm actually kind of glad that I went out instead of watching this football game.
Yeah, it was definitely. Look, and here's the crazy thing, David. I'm a defensive-minded guy, and this was still tough to watch. Yeah, both defenses showed up and showed out, but neither one of these quarterbacks could really get it going. Nathaniel Hackett, look, I get he's a first-year head coach, and he's really showing it because his play calling this year has been absolutely abysmal. Like, you're taking Russ out his element. Let him move the pocket. Let him extend plays with his feet. He's not really a pocket-savvy quarterback. If you think about it, he never has been. If you think about it, a lot of his best throws have come where? On the run, with a moving pocket. And then 2, you've heard me complain about this all year. since you talk about what's really standing out to me, it's teams and really both levels, college and the NFL, being cute on short yardage situations. Run the football. Don't throw it and try to be adorable on short yardage situations. Like that's what short yardage situations are for.
Yep.
To man up and pound the rock. To me, short yardage situations separate the boys from the men.
Also joining in on the show is Mr. TJ Hopkins. Welcome in, TJ. Just quick analysis before we move on, because I don't really want to talk about this game all that much. The Broncos, Colts. 12-9 Colts.
Oh, why don't you want to talk about it?
It's just not interesting football to talk about. I mean, like the turnovers, like this Russell Wilson experience it hasn't really worked with Nathaniel Hackett. Like, man, I really was wanting to have a Super Bowl ring, man. This trade is looking real bad so far. Like,
because the quarterback play in Denver was that spectacular before they got him.
No, for sure it was not. But you think? I mean, I don't know. Who knows what the offense would look like if they still had, if they hadn't traded away, $1 billion first-round picks and some assets.
For probably what it is now, right? The only difference is you don't expect that out of Russell Wilson. That's it.
True. Yeah.
And let's not act like Matt Ryan has been a pillar of great football in Indiana for the Colts either.
Well, for sure, yeah. I mean, Matt Ryan hasn't been remotely good in the last couple of years. And
all I really got to say is it's not even regarding the game. It's Richard Sherman. Let that Super Bowl loss go, bro. Like you sound real childish, screaming, "Run the ball" at the top of your lungs. Right? Like we get it. They should have gave the ball to Marshawn Lynch in the Super Bowl. They didn't. You lost. It happened. Move on. Move on.
But yeah, he definitely should have ran it by 4th and 1. I mean, that is rough. Moving on from Thursday night, let's talk about Sunday, and let's talk about Giants Packers. I'm sure Christensen is on cloud 9 in the game in London. New York comes out with the victory, 27-22. Daniel Jones, 21 of 27, 217 yards. Saquon Barkley, his return continues to be impressive, 13 for 70 yards and a touchdown. Gary Brightwell and Daniel Bellinger also had rushing touchdowns for this team. Darius Slayton stepped up, 6 catches for 79 yards. Aaron Rodgers, 25, 39, 222, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones, 13 for 63. Randall Cobb led the receivers with 7 for 99. Alan Lazard and Mercedes Lewis dusting off the clock. Got the touchdowns for the Green Bay Packers. Thoughts? I'll let Christian go first because this is his.
You saw in the red zone, especially that final play before the Giants got the ball back, turnover on downs, just really how much the Packers missed Devontae Adams. And sometimes I think Aaron Rodgers is trying to force feed the ball to these newer receivers. Like, it takes time, chemistry. It's a patience thing, and like I said at the beginning of the year, when one of these young receivers drops the ball, it's almost as if he doesn't even look their way anymore, and that's only going to shoot the young players' confidence moving forward. But this is a gritty win for the Giants. They're sticking to running the football, and this might be the best I think any of us have seen Daniel Jones look as a professional quarterback.
Oh, without a doubt. But yeah, they're a real commitment to the running game. And Saquon Barkley looks rejuvenated. He looks like a guy who's ready to prove his dollars wrong. If he keeps playing like this, we're going to talk about MVP potentially. I think it's a little early for that, but if he keeps playing like this and Giants keep winning, yeah, he's going to be in the MVP conversation for sure.
Yeah, no, he's not. That was cute, but he's not going to be in the conversation.
Offensive Player of the Year, maybe then.
Maybe. Yeah, I woke up early I woke up a little bit late for this game. By the time I woke up, the second quarter was just starting, so I didn't miss much. But I did watch the whole game, and I saw a Giants team that they fought, right? They never felt like they were out of it, mostly because Green Bay never really gave that. This game is ours. We're gonna step on your neck and bury you, all that good stuff. This Green Bay, this is what people try to tell you about the Packers, right? Every time they say your wins are against bad teams, it's you're just hating on the Packers. No, we're not. Your wins are against bad and injured teams. Now you had a team, right, in the Giants They're supposed to be like not as good as you, but let's look at it. Let's look at it face to face, right? All right, obviously, Aaron Rodgers is. Come on, that's not even a conversation. Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones. We're not. Come on, we're not doing that. Running backs, healthy. Saquon, Aaron Jones. Close.
It's real close.
Close. Receiving core. Y'all about even. You're about even, especially now, right? Like you're even. Old Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard's trying to find his footing as a number one. Dobbs and Watson, they're two rookies who weekly have to prove why they deserve the ball from Aaron Rodgers. And Robert Tonyan is a solid tight end in this situation. On the Giants side, Darius Slayton, okay, steals the fifth. Probably would be out of the league if he wasn't on the Giants. Kenny Golladay is looking like a horrible investment.
He's only starting to look like that.
Yeah, he's horrible. Like the only reason I say starting to because it's like he's
it's been 2 years of just meh.
But first year he was beat up. Like so first year first year it's like all right, you were hurt. You know the whole team was hurt, so you get a pass. And this year it's a month into the season with a new system. Tight end, I don't even know who the Giants tight end is. Like, no disrespect to them, but and defensively, like
I don't know who it is either. Actually,
defensively, this Giants defense they made it hard. Dexter Lawrence was a menace.
Daniel Bellinger is their starting tight end.
Solid. Okay, another solid tight end. He ain't like what you call. He ain't gonna.
I couldn't tell you anything about him.
Right. He ain't, based off the 2 games I've seen him play, Bears, Giants, he ain't gonna wow you. Right. He ain't gonna be a game breaker like a Kelsey or a Waller could be. He gonna do his job, and it's like he gonna sneaky do his. And next thing you know, you look up, he got 6 for 60 yards and a touchdown. That's what he's gonna do. But Dexter Lawrence made this game a living hell for Aaron Rodgers. Every time you looked up, Dexter Lawrence he was in the backfield making the play.
Yeah, this is a really good win for a Giants team. You know, coming out. I mean, this is 2 games in a row where you win impressive games. I mean, you got to feel good if you're a Giants fan. Christian, how you feeling right now about your Giants? Oh, I muted him. I forgot. I muted you. We're getting a lot of feedback from your mic. You have to.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, they're 4-1. They're finishing games. They're fighting hard, and you're just seeing more effort under Brian Dable than you had the last 3 coaches combined. Because, like I always say, this is the Giants 4 or 5 years ago. They find a way to lose this game.
Yeah.
They lose this game, plain and simple.
Or they never get back in it because at one point, like
they were down, they were losing by. I mean, they were down 10-0 right off the gate, and like they were down 20-7. I think at halftime. Like, yeah, this is a game.
They were down 20-10 at half, and it's like usually that's a game where it's like, all right, Aaron Rodgers step on their neck, end it, kill all hope, all that good stuff. But it was like they never pulled away.
Izzy, real quick thoughts on the Packers Giants before we move on. Welcome into the show, CEO. Packers Giants, real quick.
Guys?
Real
what's
quick.
going on, man? Gotta come in here styling and profiling. Anyways, I heard everything that TJ said, man. You're supposed to, even Roger said it after the game. We hold ourselves to a different standard, new faces, but the same standards. But even if we got new faces, and I expect that same standard to hold up. Even though you're playing against the New York Giants, who have improved. I think we said at the beginning of the season they'll be kind of like the Detroit Lions of last year, except this team is figuring out. They have a head coach that believes in them, that is much better than X's and O's. He's a defensive type of head coach. Those guys are rearing their ears back in defensive situations. And man, Daniel Jones played a hell of a game. That's a game. Okay, I'll tell you this on Green Bay side, then I'll get over it. You put a lot of money into that defense, right? You had 6 first-round picks on that defense. They have underperformed so far this season. And I said, a lot of people said this too. That'd be a top 5, top 10 defense. And in that second half, we expected that the Packers offense would be stagnant this season, but we didn't expect the defense to be this stagnant. In the second half, The Giants.
I think the term you used, Izzy, was this is the new no-fly zone. But go ahead, continue.
Oh no, I did. I used the new no-fly zone. That and I mean, and rightfully so. I mean, on paper, and we don't play games on paper, like you say, TJ. We don't play games on paper. Good thing for bringing that up. I'll go back on that statement. But yeah, we don't play games on paper. They should be better than what they are showing. And they use Saquon Barkley a lot. They're keeping it simple. They don't have many. Wide receivers. They're literally hurt everywhere across the board in DBs and wide receivers. And they're keeping it simple. Get a ball to Saquon Barkley. Let him get it in the Wildcat. If he's running it, Daniel Jones, pass it to him. And that's pretty much been a success for the New York Giants, pretty much. So, hey, I could find better corners. You know what? This is what I got to say. For 2 second-half points
I should have started the
on a
timer.
safety, you should have started the timer. Yes, you should have. I'm going to leave it at this. I said this before. I could find better corners and a Little Caesars pizza. And think about what I'm saying, because Little Caesars don't have corner slices. Okay? That's all I got to say.
Moving on to the first of the Sunday afternoon beatdowns. The first one happened in Orchard Park, where the Buffalo Bills beat down the Steelers 38-3. Kenny Pickett making his first career start, 34 of 52, 327 and a pick. Jalen Warren, leading rusher for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 5 of 24. George Pickens, pretty good game here, 6 of 83. And then Josh Allen, 20 of 31, 424 yards, 4 touchdowns and a pick. He also led the team in rushing, 5 carries of 42 yards. And Gabe Davis had a monster game, 3 catches for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns. Khalil Shakir and Stephon Diggs both had touchdowns for the Buffalo Bills in the first of the Sunday afternoon beatdowns, where there were several.
Looking at this game, Josh Allen threw it for 400 yards, but he only had 5 rush attempts. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, look, let's just call it what it is. Now, look, there's still some room for improvement, but I mean, Buffalo was just locked in. Like the Steelers didn't stand a chance coming into this game.
You ain't need to run it when you open up the game with that 98-yard touchdown.
Look, he did it with a smile on his face too. Like he would have to see me after the game.
Honestly,
he did it with a smile.
The second touchdown catch by Gabe Davis was even more impressive.
What, the one where he snatched it?
Yeah,
from
the
Minka?
one where he snatched it. Yeah. He snatched it away from Minka Fitzpatrick. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, these are growing pains for the Steelers. Like, I don't see this getting better anytime soon. Could it be different if TJ Watt is playing?
Maybe.
Possibly, but
possibly.
Look, Buffalo,
needs to get fired.
Something, because it's just not like Kenny Pickett threw the ball 52 times in this game.
Speaking of Kenny Pickett, I like
the fire too.
When you're losing by 28 points for halftime, you kind of have to throw it.
You kind of have to.
I like the fire from your rookie quarterback when somebody goes low on him. He fought back. He didn't take that.
I like James Daniels sticking up for his rookie quarterback. Barstool Sports, they on Twitter talking about some 78. That's James Daniels' number on Pittsburgh. 78 made a mistake. No, he didn't. I want, matter of fact, James Daniels, hey, me and you going out to dinner because you the only one I saw hit somebody after they hit me low. So, it's just going to be me and you, a la carte, whatever restaurant you pick. Anyway,
pick it up the tab.
He said a la carte. A
la carte,
mute his microphone.
A la carte. That means, hey, you know what that means, Christian? That he said he won't. You ain't getting no dinner deals. You can pick anything off the menu.
Anything you want. Why you feel me? I said,
ain't no.
Anyways, focus here a little bit.
But so Stephen A. He get on First Take. The Steelers look atrocious. Like, dude, everybody's been trying to tell you the last couple years what the Steelers are, bro. Like this, when we say Mike Tomlin is one of the best head coaches in football, that's not by accident. The guy's been winning bare minimum of 8 games with a terrible offensive line the last 4 years.
You know, the only thing I'll say this, TJ, I'll say this one thing. The only bad thing I got to say about Mike Tomlin in this game, because obviously he's playing with a rookie quarterback, like right before the half, he kicks a field goal, they miss it, the Bills drive down and score another touchdown. At that point, it's like, let's go for it on 4th down, swing for the fences, let's try and score a touchdown here, right? And do I get that, right, David? Like, playing. That's the only knock I got on Mike Tomlin. This is a washed year for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Look.
Moving on. Moving on to we're staying in the AFC. We got the Chargers going into Cleveland, coming out with the victory, 30-28 over the Cleveland Browns. Justin Herbert, 22 of 34, 228, 1 touchdown. Austin Eckler continue having a good game here, 16 for 173 yards and a touchdown. Joshua Kelly also had a touchdown on the ground. Austin Eckler had the lone receiving touchdown for the Los Angeles Chargers. Mike Williams, 10 catches for 134 yards. Jacoby Brissett, 21 of 34, 230, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Nick Chubb, 17 carries, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Fremont also had 1 on the ground. Amari Cooper had the lone receiving touchdown for the Browns. Thoughts?
The Chargers missed Joey Bosa, plain and simple, because there were just certain situations where Jacoby Brissett was able to get away and escape and extend the play. And I just said to myself, Bosa would have got him down. And the Chargers can't stop the run.
You know who need to go to grandma's house? I'm sorry to cut you off, Chris. You know who
Let me
need to
hear
go
it.
to grandma's house?
Let me hear it.
Neither of these teams could stop the run. Let's be serious.
No.
Nah, but it's been a problem with the Chargers.
About the game. You know who needs to go to grandma's house? Y'all know who needs to go to grandma's house?
Who?
Brandon Staley need to go to grandma's house.
Yeah, he been look, man. He got his own room. He has his own room.
Okay, David. I'm sorry, Christian TJ. Your job as the head freaking ball coach is to put your team in a position, the best position to win. You almost lost your team the ball game by going for it on 4th down at freaking midfield. When you punt the football away, they have no timeouts. Let them go the length of the field. They still probably got to kick a freaking field goal. I just don't get this dude. They're not going to make the playoffs if he keeps making decisions like that. That's all I got.
Look, like I said on Twitter yesterday, there's 2 coaches I don't trust to go for it on 4th down. Brandon Staley and John Harbaugh.
I think they're missing the wrong one. They're not missing Joey Bosa. They're missing Keenan Allen. And they're missing Keenan Allen badly. Like, Mike Williams had 10 for 134. Nobody else had more than 5 catches.
No, but nobody had more than 133 yards receiving in this game.
Right, and so
100 yards more than the next closest guy.
Crazy.
Like that is nuts when you think about it. And if I'm on this receiving staff or receiving core, and it's like, yo, anytime one of these key guys is out, Hunter, like Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, this is an opportunity for me to like establish myself as a potential number 3, like develop that trust and that rapport with Herbert, and I don't do it. It's like, like you gotta do something like. But Keenan Allen was on Twitter, like voicing his displeasure at the game because he's like, I saw one of his tweets say, "Yo, what are we doing?" And I'm guessing that was referring to Izzy's when he went for it on 4th down at midfield, and then I saw another one when he was like, "Man, thank God we won because if we didn't."
Man, the out would have been the Brandon Staley job call would have been out in field. I mean, we'll talk about Matt Rule here in a little bit, but yeah, this, if you're the Chargers, this is a game you're more talented than Cleveland right now. You have to figure out this run defense too. Like that's basically how you cost you a playoff spot last year, and you're going down the same kind of path this year.
Yeah, no, one catch, 3 targets, 2 yards for Gerald Everett. That's unacceptable. To your point, TJ. Christian. TJ. I'm sorry. Yeah, they do need other guys need to step out outside of Mike Williams in the receiving game. There's no way. in this game against a Jacoby Brissett-led team, that the Cleveland Browns, should be this close to you. But I mean, I got to give it up to the Cleveland Browns. I mean, Nick Chubb is playing out of his mind this year. I mean, he's one of the best running backs in the league. So I gotta give it up to the Cleveland Browns. They're tough, but Brandon Staley, man, he's got to get that under control, man. And we saw it in the Thursday night football game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Got away with it some there, didn't get away with it there. They lost. I don't know what to say, man.
Yeah, I think it's just growing pains of the head coach. I think he'll figure it out. We'll see. Moving on from this game, we're going to swing into the NFC North. We got the Chicago Bears, who went into Minnesota and dropped that game 22-29. Justin Fields, 15-21, 208 yards and a touchdown. Probably his best game of the season. Justin Fields led the team in rushing, 8 carries for 47 yards. David Montgomery, the lead receiver for the Chicago Bears. By the way, if you've not seen the Darnell Mooney catch in this game, it is nice. Kirk Cousins, on the other hand, 32 of 41, 296, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Dalvin Cook, 18 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. Kirk Cousins also had a rushing touchdown in this game. And Justin Jefferson could not be stopped in this game. 12 catches for 154 yards. He caught every target thrown to him but one.
They stopped him in the second half.
They did stop him in the second half. I don't think he only had 2 catches the entire second half.
So wait, but Izzy, before you go, since we talking about Chicago and the state of Illinois, first off, shout out to U of I football, ranked in the top 25 in college football for the first time in 11 years. It's a long time.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that. We'll talk about that on Friday.
That's
Christian.
A long time.
I told you.
But this game, like, obviously, Kirk Cousins did what any veteran quarterback is supposed to do, right? Like, if a defense is giving me soft zone, pitch and catch, right? He completed his first 17 passes. And it wasn't nothing impressive. It's like, hey, they're giving me this. I'm going to take this.
Right.
It's simple. Right? But kudos to the Bears for fighting back because at one point you were down 18. It was 21-3. And then you ran off 19 unanswered. And you ran off the lead. And had the lead. Like we can get.
They had an opportunity to really win this game. I mean, they had an opportunity to win this game.
If it wasn't for Cam Dantzler, he'll never make that play ever again in his career. Let me just say that.
That was an amazing play on him. Like that play by Cam and Dantzler was really not giving it up on it. Like it was good for him.
And that's just Smith Marset. Like I get it. That's your old team. You want to be the hero. You want to make a play, but you not knowing that you had already made the play.
Yeah, I mean, you already got the first down yardage. I mean, you're moving the chains. Like, just get down and play again. Play another snap.
Right. You made a guy miss. You got the first. All you had to do was get out of bounds. Right? And
honestly, the Bears had the momentum at that time, too.
Yeah.
So, like, he goes down. And I think the Bears go down. I mean, who knows? I think the Bears go down there and score a touchdown, man.
But obviously, we'll never know now. So
we'll never know. But yeah.
But Christian, before you go, but if I'm Minnesota, I'm not happy.
Wait, was that a block in the back though? You guys, was that a block in the back on that Justin Fields callback touchdown?
Put it this way.
It's a weak call. It was close.
I was going to say, I'll put it this way. If I was ref in that situation, I probably wouldn't throw that flag.
That was.
I'm biased. I probably wouldn't throw it. I probably
I mean, by the letter of the law, it was technically a block in the back, but it's a really wishy-washy, finicky call.
Because he had a hand, because like he did have a hand in front.
Yeah.
He had a hand in front of him, and then like it helped. Like don't get me wrong, he sold it. Oh, he sold the hell out of it. Sure. He flung his arms up in the air like, yo, he sold it. Like he sold, because by the time he did all that, Fields was like either coming up on him or had already passed him. But yeah, if I'm Minnesota, I'm not happy. It was 21-3. At one point, I was losing 22-21. My best receiver should have had 200 yards receiving. He only had 150 whatever off 12 catches, 10 of which came in the first half. He looked virtually unstoppable. And then for 10 catches in one half to go to 2 the next, I'm not happy. At all. What Justin Jefferson should have broke some records yesterday, and I am being 100% real on that. Like Kirk Cousins should have had 400 yards passing easily. The way he was looking, Christian, all yours.
Christian.
Yeah, I got to give the Bears credit for fighting, but the way they lost that game, Only the Bears lose like that. But I agree with Izzy. Cam Dancer will never make. He was just in the right place at the right time. It's that's like that saying. A broken clock is right 2 times a day. Right.
Yep.
I'm just being honest, but Minnesota, they got to tighten some things up because they almost let that one slip.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, that's a game that should never have been close. Moving on to the second of the Sunday afternoon beatdowns. We had the New England Patriots hosting the Detroit Lions and goosed them 29-0. Jared Goff, 19 of 35, 229 and a pick. Jamal Williams, 15 carries, 56 yards, 0 touchdowns. Josh Reynolds, six catches for 92 yards. They did not score a single point in this game. Bailey Zappi did not hurt the Patriots. 17 of 21, 188 yards and a touchdown and a pick. Amadre Stevenson, 25 carries for 161 yards, 6.4 yards a carry. Damian Harris got injured real early in this game, did not return, probably because they didn't really need him to. Jacoby Myers, 7 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown as he came back from his injury, missing the last 2 weeks in a row back into action. I had to travel yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of this game. And like when I said, when you think New England won like 29-0, like you think their offense would be clicking, like they'd have a lot of like good performances on the offensive side of the ball. Like no, it's just like a field goal fest for like the end of time. Like okay, I didn't expect. All right.
And you had 2 dudes really just put up a bulk of the offense, and Ramondre Stevenson and
Damian Harris, right,
and Jacoby Myers. Every so often there's a quarterback there's a coach that just has this quarterback's number, right? No matter what team he's on, no matter what they do, no matter the weapons around him, this coach just has this quarterback figured out. And that's what and Bill Belichick is that for a lot of quarterbacks, don't get me wrong. But it's just like Jared Goff. It's like, damn, I gotta face Bill this week. And you're going into this game without your top weapon, no Amon-Ra St. Brown for the foreseeable future. We don't know when he's going to come back.
Oh, yeah, he did play in this game, though.
Did he?
Yeah, he had 4 catches for 18 yards. He was non-existent.
Okay, exactly. So he might as well not have played.
Right.
He had 11 of those yards in 1 catch. So.
And all the Reynolds are like the Reynolds. Those 2 Reynolds, are they brothers? No relation.
No, just because they have the same last name doesn't make them brothers.
I get on David for that all the time. And for TJ Hawkinson to only have 1 catch for 6 yards.
I mean, look. That's Bill Belichick just showing you how genius he is. What does he know? What is he known for?
That's
taking away your best weapon and forcing you to beat him another way. I knew exactly what this game was coming down to. It was coming down to defense and special teams, and them making this an ugly football game, and that's exactly what they did.
And Bill Belichick let it be known very clear. 2-1 for every 2. It was 35 run attempts to 21 pass attempts. 2-1.
Yeah, there's nothing I can say about this. I'm gonna come up with a new phrase. I guess I saw it in the game yesterday. It's somewhere out there. It's Zappy Hour. Okay.
Moving on to the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints battling it out in the Bayou. Saints coming out with the victory 39-32. Taysom Hill did some serious work in this game. Andy Dalton got the start at quarterback again, 16 for 24, 187 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Taysom Hill had 1 rushing touchdown. He had 1 passing touchdown. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. And then he also, he didn't have a catch in this game. Alvin Kamara, 9 catches for 91 yards. Chris Olave and Adam Troutman had the receiving touchdowns for the New Orleans Saints. On the Seattle side of this, Geno Smith, 16 of 25, 298, 3 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker, good game for him. 8 carries for 88 yards and a tut. Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf had the receiving touchdowns for the Seahawks.
He threw a dime to Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
The back of the end zone. Not dime.
First off, this is on a sour note because Rashad Penny is once again done for the season. Broken tibia.
Wow.
Done.
Man, TJ, look, David, I said it right. We'll leave that for Wednesday.
You did.
Yep. Geno Smith continues to impress, guys. I didn't expect against this defense I didn't expect Geno Smith to play this well, and he's played pretty well. He's played pretty well through 5 games so far, even though they're 2-3. He's played pretty well. I would say 4 out of 5. Story of this game: Taysom Hill, 3 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown. He ran for over 100 yards. He had the backbreaker. What was it? The 69-yarder or whatever the case was. Yeah, that dude's a football player. I think we've said that for a couple years.
Yeah. He's a Swiss Army knife because he's a jack of all trades guy that does everything. So you don't know in which capacity you have to try to defend him. Do you take away his running lanes? Like me personally, I'd be content with him throwing the ball because I know he can't consistently beat me from the pocket. He lines up as a receiver. He runs wildcats. I mean, he does everything. And Seattle's defense just kind of shot them in the foot, and their offense put them in a pretty prime position to win this game. Geno threw some of the best passes I think I saw all day yesterday. Like that, one of those passes he threw to Tyler Lockett. I mean, it fell right into Tyler's hands. And yeah, Geno's been playing well, but the Saints kind of saved themselves because what a difference being 1 game under 500 makes than being 3 games under 500.
100%. Moving on. All right, go ahead.
Before we go, these are 2 players that we never thought would be in the same sentence ever, and that's Taysom Hill and Walter Payton. So just hear me out. Taysom Hill joins Walter Payton as the only players in the Super Bowl era with at least 20 rushing touchdowns, 8 passing, and 6 receiving touchdowns.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive.
He put some sanctified air there. Moving on to the 3rd of the Sunday afternoon beatdowns. The New York Jets put a trouncing on the Miami Dolphins, 40-17. Teddy Bridgewater got concussed early in this game and had to leave. And so everybody got what they wanted. Skylar Thompson finally played for the Miami Dolphins in a real NFL game. If you're a fan of any of those groups that have Miami Dolphins in them, they've been scrambling for Skylar Thompson to even replace Tua if he ever comes back. No, Skylar Thompson, 19-33, 166 in a pick. Raheem Mostert, pretty good game here, 18 carries for 113 yards and a tutty. Durham Smythe had the other receiving touchdown for this team. Tyreek Hill did have 7 catches for 47 yards. Mike Gesicki had 1 catch for 30 yards, which is causing
First
pain.
of all, David, I'm if those Miami Dolphins fans don't know what the hell they're talking about, I'm not clamoring for no career loser in college football, if you know what I mean. He didn't win jack nothing at Kansas State. That's first of all. Second of all, Breece Hall, that man's talented.
Is he? Is he?
Zach Wilson, 14-21,
he's a grown man.
And then he had 18 carries for 97 yards and a tutty. Michael Carter had 2 touchdowns. Braxton Berrios had a touchdown. Zach Wilson had a touchdown. Everybody was getting touchdowns on the ground.
You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. Everybody gets a touchdown. Let's go.
And Hall also led them in receiving yards. 2 catches for 100 yards.
Tyreek Hill. Quentin Williams is a lot bigger than you. I'm not going to put a weight on Quentin Williams because I know it's a lot. But, yeah, Tyreek Hill. Quentin Williams is a lot bigger than you. If next time you see that man coming at you with the ball, just try to trip him up. Don't try to tackle him. Right? Because you got stiff like you look like a fly. Right? He literally just moved your ass out the way.
It was like dead man pickup. You play pick him up, dead man in the field, and the biggest guy got the ball, and he stiff on the littlest. Show us out of here.
Obviously, I think this is another situation with the Jets where you got a team that's believing in their coach. Right? Like Robert Saleh is establishing a culture there that's needed. That they probably haven't had a guy like that since Rex Ryan. That rah, let's go get him. Rex Ryan's only downfall was guaranteeing Super Bowls when Tom Brady was still in your division. Like he did it in back-to-back years and came up short back-to-back years, bro. Like, yeah, that's ground.
You can't hate the faith for Mr. Rex Ryan.
Well, defensively, I gotta give the Jets some props, man. They hit on a couple of their top picks. One of them, Sauce Gardner, congratulations, young man. You got your first NFL career interception. And it looks like that defense is rearing their ears back, bringing a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. They're making offensive lines look kind of silly out there, especially in the last couple weeks. And yeah, man, they're playing for a defensive-minded head coach. And when you got a defense that's playing well, could get after the quarterback, that's a recipe for success right there.
Yeah, like TJ said, it is a testament to the head coach, because if you know anything about Robert Saleh, when he was San Francisco's defensive coordinator, those guys absolutely loved him. They didn't say a bad thing about him. And what I like and respect about him is the simple fact he's a blue collar guy. He's tough. He preaches toughness, and his team is taking after that. You saw that yesterday. Hard-hitting football. The Jets have an identity. They're running the ball a little bit more, and they've surrounded Zach Wilson with weapons and put him in a prime position to succeed. I mean, I think this Zach Wilson and Garrett Wilson tandem is going to be fun to watch these next couple of years.
Brees Hall, Michael Carter.
Yeah. I mean, look, the Jets have a really good young core right now.
They can get this offensive line figured out. I mean, get these guys
healthy. Yeah.
Moving on from the AFC, we'll swing back into the NFC. We got a battle in the NFC South. We got the Atlanta Falcons coming up short against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 21-15. Marcus Mariota, not a bad game here, 14-25, 147 yards and a tutty.
Izzy, you doing it too? Because I already know where you're going with this. I'm with you too. I'm waiting too.
He also led the team in rushing, 7 carries for 61 yards. Avery Williams had the lone rushing touchdown.
David, let them go. Don't read the rest of it. Just let them go.
Go ahead, Izzy. Preach.
How the hell is that a freaking roughing the passer? That's all I gotta say. That call is the single most egregious, worst call that I've seen so far, probably in the last some years. I can't remember a call that bad. It cost the Atlanta Falcons the football game. First of all. Cost them the damn football game, and that's not protecting a quarterback. How the hell are you supposed to bring a quarterback down? What you supposed to do? I got him, ref, sack. No, it's a physical football game. We kind of saw it in the other roughing the passer against Matthew Stafford in the Dallas Cowboys game. There's a thin line between here, man. I mean, just because these dudes is hitting your quarterback hard, if it ain't malicious, if it ain't with the crown of the helmet, that was nothing malicious. He had to bring down Tom Brady. What the hell are you doing calling that damn flag?
This looks like a response of that Tua play. Like, it looks like the same twist takedown play that they flew that flag on. I just got a chance to watch it. I was traveling yesterday. Man, that's bad.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, look, Izzy pretty much said it for me. And the former defensive player in me almost threw my phone at my TV. I didn't do it. My phone's still in one piece, and my TV still in one piece. But, they're going to do what they can to protect that man they call the GOAT. Plain and simple. I remember a couple years ago when Tom was still playing. Look at TJ. He's so cute being impatient. I remember a couple years ago, Tom Brady.
I just grabbed my drink.
What that mean? What that mean? What that mean?
The clock is ticking. You're losing time.
Okay, shut up, boy. Anyway, I remember back years ago, Baltimore was playing New England, and Terrell Suggs got tripped up and rolled into Tom Brady, and Tom kind of sells it, and he's hopping on one leg, and he is pointing at the ref, motioning to him to throw the flag. And I remember Ray Lewis saying, "He's a man. He can be hit." So my question is, why even have the quarterback wear pads anymore if you can't put a hit on him? Like, you're taught to square up, drive somebody into the ground, and make a play on a football. That's exactly what Grady Jarrett did.
But before TJ goes, I just want to reiterate this. I don't think it's like a lot of people saying, "Oh, they cheating for Brady." I don't think this is a Tom Brady thing. I just think this is a league thing. I think we just had a comment saying from one of our viewers, David Henderson. He just said the NFL doesn't know the difference between a good hit and a bad hit. They just really can't make that difference sometimes, especially when it comes to the quarterback position. So I just think that it's there has to be some type of a better criteria. We think we know it, but we don't. We don't know it, and that was just not a good call right there.
It's a direct response, in my opinion, to the Tua Tagovailoa stuff because you still have that pending concussion lawsuit, and look, when you have a hit that looks like that hit, they're gonna throw the flag.
But it wasn't. Anyway, go ahead, TJ.
It shouldn't be called, but that's the way they're gonna. I think that's how they're gonna do it from now on.
Okay, all right. So we're all in agreement that that flag was terrible, just god awful, right? No disagreeing there at all. David, you are right. This is now a new response to what happened to Tua because now every time we see a player that hits their head on the turf or the grass and they're slow to get up, same thing happened to Chris Olave in the Saints game. He had a touchdown. He hit his head kind of hard. He laid there for a minute, and they're like, the new concussion rule is you can't go out of you can't come back in the game. You can't come back for at least the rest of that game, right? Are we mad at the ref or are we mad at Tom Brady?
We mad at the ref. I'm not mad at Tom Brady. I'm mad at the ref.
I mean, Tom Brady didn't call that flag.
Yeah, Tom Brady. Yeah, I'm not gonna be mad at Tom.
So I think that's what I'm getting at, right? Like everybody's mad at Tom Brady for getting this flag, and Tom Brady stands up at the presser. He's like, I don't throw the flags. Right. So Stephen A can get on First Take and be like, "Oh, you were looking at the ref begging for a flag." Okay, and does that mean the ref has? Oh, damn, Tom Brady looking at me. I guess I got to give him one.
Tom Brady wants a flag. He gets a flag.
Oh, that's not like so. Be mad at the ref who threw the flag. Don't be mad at the player who got it, right? Because if we want to, you can't pick and choose what penalties to be mad about because no one's mad about the PI that happened literally the play before. No one's mad about Vita Vea drawing a rough in the passer call when he got pushed into Marcus Mariota. No one was mad about that. And that drive led to a touchdown.
And I'll say this, that call is taken away from a lot of things in this football. For one thing in this football game that I'm going to take away. If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers want to go to the Super Bowl, they got to know how to run the football better. They got to run the football better, and they just haven't shown that they can run the football. Tom Brady's out there dropping back 52 times. He's 40-something years old. He don't need to be doing that. They
are running it at 4 yards a clip. I mean, that's not bad.
And another thing, every time. Go ahead, TJ.
Yeah, I think it's the lack of commitment to it.
Right, like 52 pass attempts to 23 run attempts. Come on, man.
That's 2-1.
And three of those were by Tom Brady.
Yeah, and on top of that, it just seems like Tom Brady has no faith in his offensive line. Like, he looks scared when he's standing back in that pocket. And we knew that was going to be a lingering concern for them coming into the year.
Well, the good news is the Buccaneers are starting to get at least relatively healthy, right? This is the second game in a row where Godwin has played. Mike Evans is back. I mean, Mike Evans, because Mike Evans wasn't hurt. He was just suspended. Leonard Fournette.
I don't think Julio Jones played in this game, or he didn't have a single target. So I don't know.
I don't know. He's not listed at all. Leonard Fournette was the lead rusher. He had 10 for 83, as well as the lead. He was the lead receiver as well as the lead rusher. So he had 2 touchdowns this game. So I know his fantasy owners are happy. But yeah, so as long as they get relatively healthy, again, they play in one of the weakest divisions, if not the weakest division. And Tampa's going to be fine.
They deserve to win this game. I know that call basically sealed their fate, but they outgained Atlanta by almost 200 yards. This is a game where they thoroughly dominated.
And the call shouldn't overshadow a lot of some of the good things that Tampa did. But
you were down 21.
But I would say Atlanta. One thing I'll say, good to note on Atlanta before we move on. They are playing. They're surprising me. They're playing tough defense. They're staying in ball games. Marcus Mariota's not playing bad at all this season. So, kudos to them. They're playing well.
Well, the blow up has kind of the rebuild is fast on the way because they did trade Deion Jones today to Cleveland.
Yeah. So, actually, I think that happened during the Cleveland game. That might have happened during the game. For real.
Hey, buddy, you're getting traded.
Moving on, we're going to talk about the battle against the AFC South and the NFC East. And before we talk about anything that happened in the football field, let's just give a shout out to Brian Robinson. Returned to the game here. Had 9 carries for 22 yards. If you do not remember, Brian Robinson was shot multiple times during an armed robbery. He was able to survive, and now he's back playing in the National Football League. So nothing else matters, really, as long as people are healthy and healthy. And Chicago and Brian Robinson be able to get back on the football field. Love to see it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And then to the action on the gridiron. Ryan Tannehill, 50 and 25, 181 yards and a tutty. Derrick Henry proved that he is the king again here. 28 carries for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nick Westbrook-Akina, lead receiver for the Titans, 2 catches for 72. Carson Wentz, 25, 38, 359, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And as I mentioned, Brian Robinson, leading rusher for the Washington Commanders, 9 catches for 22 yards. And Dami Brown, leading receiver, 2 catches for 105 yards and a touchdown. 2 touchdowns, actually.
Oh, man.
Kirsten, go for it.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz also had 3 fumbles in this game and lost all 3.
Yeah. This was just a tough way. For the Commanders to lose. The Titans should have lost this game because they allowed the Commanders to come back to the game. But Tennessee, they're kind of clicking right now. Like Tannehill's taking some better care of the ball. Derrick Henry's
won 3 games in a row.
Yeah. I mean,
ever since that debacle,
right.
Me too.
They had a debacle? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, they had the beat down by the hands of the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah.
Then don't forget who they lost to week 1.
Yeah.
What I'll say about this, man, hey, Carson Wentz, he's a roller coaster, right? 359 yards. He looked like he was moving the football. He can throw dimes out there. But David said 3 fumbles, 3 losses. I'm not even going to put the interception. You know what? I can't put the interception against him. He threw in double coverage. It was what? Was it third and goal or first and goal? It wasn't fourth goal. It wasn't fourth and goal. So you didn't need to really force that ball. If you didn't have anything there, just throw it out and live to play another down. So yeah, I can't put all 4 turnovers on Carson Wentz. And then when Ron Rivera comes out and said, "What's the difference between those other NFC East teams and my team?" The quarterback. So
that's where I was going with it. I don't like that. As a head coach,
I don't like it either.
Because as a head coach, you're throwing your quarterback under the bus, and you're basically saying, "Oh, I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job. Everybody else is doing their job. It's just the quarterback that's holding us back." When you didn't say that about Ryan Fitzpatrick, although Fitzpatrick played for you for like 4 games before he broke his hip.
1 game.
1 game, never mind.
He didn't make it through the whole game.
You didn't say that about Tyler Heineke when you named him the 4-time starter. You tried to see what that was like. You were bad way before Carson Wentz suited up for you. And for you to basically say, "Oh, we're only behind because the other 3 teams have better quarterback play." No, Dallas ain't winning games because of Cooper Rush. We'll get to them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Dallas ain't winning games because of Cooper Rush. The Eagles, maybe. The Giants, maybe. But Dallas for sure is not winning games because of Cooper Rush. You aren't losing games because of Carson Wentz.
I mean, they're losing games because their offensive line is trash and their defense isn't playing well.
And the defense misses Chase Young.
Right.
The defense misses Chase Young.
Right, who's not even he's not even back yet, is he?
Nah, he won't be back for.
And
he's still a ways away.
Not even back yet.
He might not play this season, to be honest with
you. He might not. I know for a fact he probably won't play this Thursday.
No.
And again, Carson Wentz, sacked 3 times, better than 9, but
better than 9.
I mean, he got hit by 13 times as the quarterback hits too. I mean, yeah, this is probably the worst offensive line in the league.
He got hit how many times?
I think 13.
By a pass rush that's missing their best pass rusher.
Yeah.
And hey, one thing I say about this Tennessee defense, Kevin Byard, boy, He all over the field.
And man, that game-sealing interception was an amazing play by that linebacker. Like for real. Like, kudos to him.
But then again, he tried to string it into double coverage, and I get it.
It wasn't a good decision, but it was a great play by the defender.
I would have loved, you know what I would have loved in that play? Because Carson Wentz is athletic enough. I would have loved for them to get him out on the edge, maybe, try and do it like a little run play. If you don't see it, throw it out, let the fight another day. I would have loved for him to do that. That falls on Ron Rivera, offensive coordinator, too.
Moving on from this game, we're going to swing into we're going to talk about two teams in the AFC South. We got the Houston Texans going into Jacksonville and beating the Jaguars 13-6. This was not the barn burner I thought it was going to be. I thought this game was going to be high scoring. Wasn't. Davis Mills, 16 of 24, 140 yards. Damian Pierce, 26 carries for 99 yards and a tutty. Nico Collins, 4 catches for 65. Yes.
Is Trevor Lawrence getting your game ball this week?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Hell no.
25 of 47, 286 and 2 picks.
He was so confident last time. I'm just
Travis Etienne, 10 carries for 71 yards. Marvin Jones Jr., 7 catches for 104 yards. This was not the pinnacle of offensive success that I kind of thought it was going to be when I originally.
This game was a snooze fest. I don't even got nothing to say. The only reason the Texans won is because this Jacksonville
because they have Davis Mills, right? Because they have Davis Mills.
No, they didn't have Davis Mills. The defense actually, but no, honestly, I would say player of the game, Damian Pierce, man. He was running all over that defense, man. I don't really have much to say other than, hey, congratulations, Lovey, for getting off the schneid.
There you go. There we go, Lovey.
There we go, Lovey. And this is the opportunity to maybe pop the champagne because there's no more teams with us on that win record anymore. Everybody
who's popping the champagne? The winless Lions or the winless Cleveland Browns? Who's popping the champagne?
No, the Texans are because they not joining that club.
I guess.
I'm saying pop the champagne, the Houston Texans, because
they won a game. They won a game. Let's get some champagne.
We won a game.
That's history you don't want to be a part of, bro. And now it's worse. Now it's worse because there's an extra game. Right? So if a team ever goes 0-17, the Detroit Lions can say, hey, we're no longer the worst team in NFL history.
Right.
Anyway.
Tie, so if they would have been 0-16 if they would have lost. They would have lost 16 times and would have had one tie. I don't know if that makes a difference, but yeah.
Anybody have anything to actually add when it comes to actual
No, I don't have nothing to add to this game.
No, if you're Jacksonville, okay, you kind of come back down to earth a little bit.
Oh, you know what? I do have something to add. Jacksonville was semi in this game. It was like 2 minutes left, and the fans just start fouling out. I don't know if there was a party going on or I don't know what was going on, but Jacksonville was going to get the ball back with like a minute left, and the fans and then they're only down a tutty, and the fans just start fouling out.
That's what I'm saying. So two games.
The show is going off the rails.
Look, check it out. You blanked the Colts, right? You beat them 24-0, right? You follow that up by just destroying the Chargers, 38-10. Right, you give the Eagles their most competitive game so far outside of yesterday. Right, you was 29-21, and now you lose a game to a Texas team that you
should be beating the Houston Texans. Moving on to the fourth Sunday afternoon beatdown. San Francisco 49ers handed Matt Rule his walking papers when they beat the Carolina Panthers 37-15. Adios, Matt Rule in the NFL. Not the best tenure ever for a head coach.
Baby.
Jimmy Garoppolo, 18 of 30, 253 and 2 touchdowns. Jeff Wilson, 17 carries for 120 yards and a touchdown. Devin Coleman from Oak Forest had a touchdown in this game.
I don't care what you say. Matt Rule is winning. He gets to sit on his couch for the next 4 years and make $840,000 a month.
You're not wrong. Baker Mayfield got shelved in this game, got hurt. So 20 of 36, he's going to miss a few weeks. 215 yards and a pick. Chris McCaffrey continues to play somewhat decent this season. 14 for 54 and a touchdown. This was just a beatdown the entire game. This game was never remotely all that close.
You guys want to know something funny? My cousin was at that game, and he's like, there's definitely more 49er fans here than there are
Are we
Panther
supposed
fans.
like? Wait, is that really supposed to be funny though? Like that's.
I mean, Carolina Panthers. I mean, San Francisco 49ers are one of the best traveling fan bases in the league.
They really are.
It doesn't surprise me that they had.
Yeah,
especially if you have a Panthers team has one win when you have Baker Mayfield as your quarterback. Doesn't inspire you to get out there.
Yeah, but
like let's be honest. Like the game is sorry to cut you off here. Like the game is irrelevant. Everybody wants to talk about the Matt Rule firing. And I know the 49ers, like they took a blow to the defense because
CJ Mosley tore his AC, or not CJ Mosley. Is it CJ Mosley? No, his first name. It's
he's Mosley. We know that, but he tore his ACL.
He tore his ACL.
So that's a blow. You hate to see
that. He's been playing really good this season. So that is a big blow. But Emmanuel.
But Matt Rule got fired. Matt Rule getting fired with 4 years left on this deal. David and Izzy were kind of. Well, I think Christian, you were on that train too. Like before the season started, saying like, yeah, he could be out of there. But I just want to know, like David Tepper, what did you expect? Bro, like you gave him that length of a contract with the understanding of, hey, this is a rebuild and it's not going to be fixed fairly quickly.
Overnight.
Right. And like overnight in NFL terms is literally the first 3 years of my contract. But that's the difference between organizations like the Panthers and the organization they played, the 49ers, because when they first hired Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, they both got 5-6 year deals out the gate with the understanding of, yeah, this is gonna take some time. Right? And those first 2 years under Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers won 10 games combined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there was like a rumor today after the firing that like Carolina's just like probably gonna blow it up. So there were some rumors about Christian McCaffrey possibly getting traded to the Bills.
That should happen.
But team officials said that that's not happening. There hasn't been any trade talks, and that I don't know what to believe at this point.
Same thing with DJ Moore. Like DJ Moore was like, it was like 5 teams are expected to call the Panthers about DJ Moore. And it's like
who's a good wide receiver with some talent.
He is, but like,
and I think Baker's out for a few weeks after this game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's gonna miss.
Out for a few weeks after this game.
Like he was making that much of a difference.
He wasn't.
Good win for San Francisco and for Carolina. Yeah, I think with the Matt Rule firing, like, what did you expect? Like, you never give this guy a quarterback who's competent. You never pick up this offensive line. Their defense was always really good, or at least borderline really good. Like, he at least built up a defense that's solid. But yeah, that offense just never clicked. You never got the pieces in the right place, and now he's out of a job.
And I know he's gonna be really sought out for college opening.
I was gonna say, Christian.
If I was him, I would just work in television to get a TV job and do that for a few
years. He's going to Lincoln. He's going to Lincoln.
Or Wisconsin.
Nebraska. Yeah, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Arizona State, whatever.
I mean, moving on to the 5th and final Saturday afternoon beatdown. Dallas Cowboys putting the spanking on the Los Angeles Rams, 22-10. I know it doesn't sound like a beatdown, but if you watch this game, it was. Cooper Rush, 10 of 16, 102 yards. Tony Pollard had eight carries for 86 yards, including a 57-yard house call. CeeDee Lamb, 5 catches, 53 yards. Matthew Stafford, another up and down game for him, 28 of 42, 308 touchdown and a pick. Cam Akers, 13 carries, 33 yards. Nobody else had more than one. Cooper Kupp, 7 catches for 125 yards, including a 75-yard house call. But that was really the only offense the Rams had the entire game. This is an offense that could not move the football. They could not run the ball. They could not do anything effectively. And Dallas put the clamps.
Can I go first?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
You said it. This offensive line is trash. But it is. No, like seriously, it is. Every time Kirk Cousins, every time Matthew Stafford drops back to pass, it's like a 70-30 split of him not having enough time to, make his reads. 70%. That means like 70% of the time he's probably gonna get sacked. It's either gonna be a sack, a throwaway, incomplete pass, something.
Five sacks in this game allowed by the Rams. They also allowed 11 hits on the quarterback outside of those sacks.
Crazy.
So like 16 times.
I'm on Twitter and I'm like, I asked 2 questions on 2 separate tweets. I'm like, the first question was, oh, shout out to Derek Carr. He just got his 200 career touchdown pass to Devontae Adams. But if I'm
parlay, son.
But my first question was, how long can the Dallas defense keep this up? Right?
Forever.
Like, we'll see. They play Philly next. Philly has the offensive line to make things hard, and they have the offense period to make this defense sweat. And my other question was, how long before the Rams do something? Make a move, make some kind of move.
TJ, even though I know he was old and he needed to probably go, but how much, this offensive line really misses the leadership of Andrew Whitworth.
Yeah, they really do because, like you said, he's older, but it's tough to replace the intangibles of leadership with that. But when I look at the Rams, Allen Robinson's not a good fit for this team. He's showing it. Like, TJ and I were talking about this yesterday. He's not a good fit. Outside of Cooper Kupp, who really scares you on this offense? Remember, they traded away Robert Woods. And defensively, they don't have a pass rush. Like, nothing scares me with the Los Angeles Rams now.
Well, me and David talk about this a lot when we do our fantasy show, is that the only person outside of Cooper Kupp that can, do anything in the receiving game is Tyler Higbee.
Yeah.
Nobody else is doing anything.
I will say
so the Rams also, they had 3 sacks in this game. 2 of them came from Aaron Donald. The other one came from Jalen Ramsey. Nobody else accounted for a single one. Anything else?
And I will say this, now, don't get me wrong, before the game got out of hand, Dallas, they definitely got away with 3, for a fact that I saw, 3 PIs. Anthony Brown had 2 of them. Right, the first one, he grabs Cooper Kupp to end the drive, because they would have kept the drive going. The second one happened on Allen Robinson in the end zone, which puts the ball first and goal at the 1. They're scoring there. And the third one came, I forgot who did it, but Ben Skoranek was the victim of the third PI, which wasn't called, which also would have kept the drive going. But that's neither here nor there. You can't really keep looking up to the refs to make a call. Dallas is starting to creep into that territory of just play ball. Right? Now again, we'll do this tomorrow when they play Philly. Right? All right, so how many do you really think y'all can beat Philly with Cooper Rush completing just 10 passes?
I guess we'll find out. But yeah, moving on from this game, let's talk about the last game.
I had nothing to think about. Thank you, Izzy. Hell no.
Moving on to the last game in the late afternoon window, we also had an NFC East team taking on a team from the NFC West. Philadelphia coming up with the victory in the Big Toaster, 20-17. Jalen Hurts, 26-36, 239. He also had 2 rushing touchdowns. Dallas Goedert, leading receiver for the Eagles. Kyler Murray, up and down game there a little bit, 28-42, 252, 1 touchdown and a pick. James Conner, leading rusher for the Arizona Cardinals. Eno Benjamin had the lone rushing touchdown. And Marquise Brown, man, Holly Brown, another good game here. 8 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown. His touchdown that he scored was nice.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful. Thoughts?
Remember coming into this one, I said it was a trap game for Philly because teams tend to overlook opponents. Arizona played them tough. Philly got by. I mean, it was a game that had to grind out. Now they can set their sights on that big game in the NFC East on Sunday against I guess the Cowboys. But I like what Hollywood Brown is bringing to the table. Kyler already has the chemistry with him, but I really want to give a lot of props to Jalen Hurts because he's really playing well this year.
Yeah. Oh, hey, TJ, I know TJ was talking about Isaiah Simmons, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? And he had a hell of a game this game. 13 tackles, 8 solo. I'll say this. Philly got stagnant in that second half. They scored 2 touchdowns, got stagnant offensively. I got to give props to Arizona's defense. They pretty much sputtered Philly's offense. They had a real chance of winning that football game at the end. I don't know, tying the football game at the end, and or winning it. They could have drove all the way down the field. But I think down in that red zone area, before you kick the field goal, I think you got to rely on what your strength is, and that's running the football down there.
I kind of put that on coaching because there was 22 seconds left. I get it, you didn't have any timeouts, but 22 seconds is enough time to at least take a shot, and especially from that location of the field, 22 seconds is enough time to take a shot. That if you're Kyler Murray, like, hey, if the deep shot ain't there, then just throw the ball away, and then we'll go for the field goal. But Matt Amendola has absolutely nothing to hang his head there for. You missed the field goal, it happens. Shout out to his teammate. I forgot the teammate's name that stood up for him in the locker room when they were asking questions. Like, no, bro, like, it happens. This is a game.
And right? I think some IQ got to go there with Kyler, right? It's 3rd and 1, and then he spikes it, and it's 4th and 1. Now, I think if you run another play, get the first down, spike it real quick, maybe get a shot towards the end zone or something like that.
Or get a little closer at least.
Exactly. Get a little closer at least. So that falls both on Kyler and the coach, in my opinion.
But I know what I said about Dallas. Yeah, like your defense is playing real good now. Philly, you didn't have 2 close games in a row now.
Yeah, right? I mean, but they won both of them. This is how you got to have those hard-fought games throughout the season. Final game of the season of the weekend. Bengals going into Baltimore and getting dropped by Justin Tucker, as a lot of people do when they play Baltimore. 19-17. Joe Burrow, 24-35, 217 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Joe Mixon, 14 carries, 78 yards. Hayden Hurst had the lone receiving touchdown for the Cincinnati Bengals. Lamar Jackson, 19-32, 174, touchdown and a pick. He led the team in receiving yards. Mark Andrews had the lone receiving touchdown for the Baltimore Ravens.
I forget who
for 89 yards and a touchdown.
Who did Lamar Jackson miss wide open down the field?
Devin Duvernay. Tyron Wallace.
Tyron Wallace, Evan Duvernay. He missed both those throws. They would have been easy touchdowns, Watkins.
Yeah, it would have. But, my biggest takeaway was the Ravens' defense because they simplified things. I thought they were putting too much emphasis on those corners playing man. Now they're playing a lot of zone because they don't have the build to play man coverage.
Hey, can I say this though? The thing that Joe Burrow said after the game, where he said, "Oh well, if teams because they only average like 4 yards a pass." And he's like, "Well, if teams are gonna play us like this, that's the only play like we can't go downfield." And my response to that is, you have to every throw ain't gonna be wide open to Jamar Chase or Hayden Hurst, who had a hell of a touchdown in this game.
It's not going to be a deep ball.
It's not going to be a deep ball. Sometimes you have to find the pockets in the zone. Sometimes you got to throw your wide receivers open. This ain't LSU, boy. You've been to the Super Bowl. You've been a pro for 3 years already. You know damn well you can't be saying stuff like that after a press conference. Think Aaron Rodgers said stuff like that? Tom Brady said stuff like that? No, hell no. Nobody says stuff like that. So they not giving it to you? Well, yeah, I'm going to have to dink and dunk only because I can't. No, find the holes I don't never want to hear Joe Burrow say that ever again.
And all 3 of your losses have been walk-off field goals. So it's not ain't like right. So it's not like you're getting your ass kicked. It ain't like you're blowing folks out. Right. I get it. Like, you went to the Super Bowl last season. That's last season. That's why.
Do it again.
Thank you. That's why last season don't matter. You think Rams fans want to hear that? Hey, we won a Super Bowl last year. They don't care.
Okay, what you doing now?
It's fine that we suck now. We won the Super Bowl last year.
Right, they don't care. Like, what are you doing now? All right. So I get it. Like, you went to the Super Bowl. You want to set this new standard in Cincinnati. Woo. Okay. Standards take longer than a year to establish. You just got hot at the right time.
Also, Joe Mixon, running 5 yards a pop, almost 6 yards a pop. You're giving it to him 14 times. I think he deserves to get the ball.
Give him the ball.
Just a little more, yeah. Fee, what impact can you make on 14 carries?
That's on Zach Taylor.
And I don't know if y'all saw this, but people on Twitter were pointing out Joe Mixon's tail. Joe Mixon has a tail. So when he's bent over, like hands on his knees, it's a pass. When he's standing straight up, it's a run. So Joe Mixon,
interesting.
Joe Mixon has a tail. So
it's not ideal.
Right? So and kind of like, and I gotta give him credit for this too, because the Bears rookie Dominic Robinson, like when the Bears played the 49ers, he picked up Trent Williams' tail. He when Trent Williams kicked his leg back twice, it was a pass. When he just backed up once, it was a running play. So it was first off, whoever caught that, you are you are watching. You are watching.
Film.
Man, people have way too much free time in their lives. But yeah, good for them. But yeah, the Ravens win this game. Good win for them. Justin Tucker continues to be money.
Can I say this one time? Yes. Just real quick. When the top 100 players come out next year, can we put Justin Tucker on there?
Should be. Yeah,
Should be. That 58 yarder was straight down the middle, down Main Street. Could have went for 60 plus.
He just doesn't miss big kicks. He just is automatic. It's just bang. It's all right. Well, we got Justin Tucker in field goal range. We're gonna win.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Christian. So you appreciate this. When the Mets bring in Diaz, they play Timmy Trumpet. Yeah. Somebody put the Timmy Trumpet music on Justin Tucker walking onto the field.
But yeah, that's been our analysis of week number 5 so far. We'll be back here tomorrow breaking down Monday Night Football and making our picks for week number 6. I do believe bye weeks start next week, so you're going to have a couple games, teams that are on byes here and there. So yeah, continue checking out the content. I've been David Huppin, Israel Rivera, Kristen Simpson.
Any game balls?
No, that's tomorrow. That's
tomorrow's show.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be back here tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys all have a good night, and we'll see you all later. Peace out. And hey, what do we do here at the Prime side? Oh, we bring the heat at the Prime.